Welcome to this, the fifth and final part of our series, The 30 Rules of Lighting. Now, this is a webinar that took place during our recent lockdown live feed event for eFIXX, and we had guest host Ray Molony, who is a world-renowned lighting journalist, take part in that and deliver some material for us. In this video, we're going to answer some of the questions that came up during the webinar, and myself, Ray and Gordon are all going to have a go at answering those for you. So let's get to those questions.
Here's a question we could shoot ourselves in the foot. Have you a preferred lighting manufacturer, Ray?
Oh yeah, I mean I have people I admire. I love eFIXX, an Italian company. I think they just do great fittings. But there's loads of good companies at various price points. I love Thorlux. I think they do great products. Aurora do nice stuff at a good price point. Yeah, they would be the ones I would single out.
Yeah, and I would say if people are looking for tips, is to look at the manufacturers' websites. So I would agree with the eFIXX one. eFIXX are a great company, know how to sell light to people, yeah, they can do show you how to do amazing things with lights. I'll go against Ray's rules. I have got some downlights at home, and I did get some from eFIXX, and they're only 20. The cutout for the light is 28 millimeters square. That presents a whole other load of problems, especially when there's plasters in the place. Trying to get there. So, yeah. Any of the Q&As we've got there, Joe, to throw at Ray?
We've got Gary being facetious. Gary wants to know what's lead tape. I think that's becoming one of his bugbears, and I'm not sure he's a fan of lead tape. I think he likes LED strip, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, LED. Yeah, we say LED in the business, LED in the business. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a good question there, right? So, okay, is there any health risk with LEDs?
Well, there's been a lot of scare stories about LEDs affecting the eyes, and particularly of children. I think a general rule is just to avoid high brightness LEDs. Well, you should avoid glare anyway. So I think that's a very good rule, is just avoid, high brightness, direct glare sources. I mean, none of this has really been corroborated. So anyway, there has been scare stories because of the amount of blue in light. There's also a lot of stories about how the excess blue in LEDs keeps people awake at night, and that is a lot of the academic community and the scientists say this is overstated really, and you'd really have to stick your face in a right up to a blue LED for a number of hours before it really disrupts your sleep. But anyway, so they're the health risks that have been discussed online. They tend to be, I would say they're scare stories, really.
Yeah, I mean, but I would say in the middle of the night, if you wake up and put your mobile phone on next to your face, it will wake you up, won't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's worth saying as well that LEDs have a lot of blue component because they were originally blue, and they've used a phospher to convert their light into white light. So you tend to get a lot of blue. You can't often see it, but there's a big spike of blue light, which can help with alertness as well. But I don't think there's any actual specific danger. I think fluorescent tubes were way more dangerous, particularly if they got broken.
Yeah, certainly. And just to pull out one here, what we've got here then. Preferred manufacturers have done. I would say, Ray, you said about doing mock-ups and comparisons between things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there how would, if someone's presented with a client saying, all right, just light this kitchen for me, how would you approach that as a kind of, to try and sell your ideas to somebody before you're not going to go and do a computer CAD design? How would you sell an idea to someone who wants some ideas for a kitchen?
Well, I would talk to the client and I would say, tell me how do you work here? Do you both cook? Do you enjoy cooking? Do you entertain? What do you do in the space? And have that conversation. Have that conversation with your customer. So let's say they have a larder, or they have a space, or they have cupboards. you could say, well, wouldn't it be great to have light in that space? So when you open the larder, the light comes on. In fact, this afternoon I've been doing that for my daughter because she had it in my last house. She opens her wardrobe, and I've got putting in LED battens so that they all open automatically when she opens. She loves her clothes, my daughter, and so it's linked to. I've got a PIR on it. Before I just had a basic switch. So you could say to somebody, well, I could do this. Have you thought about putting lighting here? Or maybe I could, if you're entertaining friends in the evening, you could dim your lighting down once you've done all your cooking, and you can sit down and relax in a more muted, relaxing environment. So have that initial conversation, and then out of that can come new ideas, etc.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good question for you, Ray. You might have asked the wrong person this one. What's your favourite light at home? Coming from the man who said he's just had 32 lights in his living room, and I must point out to people that living room wasn't enormous.
Oh right, yeah. Oh, my favourite. That's like asking me to pick between my children. Oh wow, you've got me there. Well, I've just moved house, so that's a bit of an odd one. But I love I love glass. There's a company called Limburg in Germany, and they have done light fittings using real glass, and I like to think I can tell the difference. I like that. I like to know it's the real deal, and it's not. I also like opal fittings. There's a famous fitting guy called Jasper Morrison. Now, you may have seen it. It's on TV a lot. Imagine a glowing white ball, and it's been squashed at the top and at the bottom, and that looks great. And it's a great way to light a space. It's called Glow Ball, and I use that a lot because it not only does it look great, but it's a really useful way to put light in a space. And I would say freestanding. I didn't talk about this in my rules, but freestanding lighting. I have a lot of freestanding lighting. They look great. They're a great way to put an unusual. You can place lighting. You can use up lighting, down lighting, everything. So. And I like a lot of classics. I buy a lot of the classics because I think classics are classics for a reason, because they've stood the test of time, and they're just lovely objects to have around. So I can't help. I always buy lights. I can't help myself. My wife is driven mental. I'm always buying lights, getting them delivered. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay, and I think we're coming up to the hour now. Here's a one, and I also know the answer. Might know what the answer to this is. Do you have any experience with smart lighting? If so, yes. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I went a bit mad in my last house with smart lighting. I had cupboards full of controls. It was linked to Alexa, and I could control my lights from anywhere in the world on my smartphone, and it was quite fun when it lasted. I've spent a lot of time going back to my old house to help the people who bought my house, telling them how to work my lights, that's been a bit trying. So I think what I'll do is I add a whole house lighting control system, and I think what I'll do now is just have it, choose one room in your house. And have, I think I got way too sophisticated, and I'm now going to become a bit simpler. A push button. My rule is, 4 scenes, keep it simple. And I wouldn't use internet. I use internet protocol, and I think I went a bit mad, with the whole internet connected thing. So yeah, that's my view on smart lighting.
Oh no, yeah, I thought that was going. Yeah, that was you're the person who inherited that problem. So I think, Ray, this has been great fun. Thanks, thanks for your time tonight to do this. I'm sure, the viewers that we only put this out as a pop-up webinar this afternoon. We got a great crowd, and they've stuck with us through it. So I hope that that's inspired people. I'm sure, if people post some comments and post some questions back, we can do another webinar on a different lighting topic, because we can talk about lights for days.
We can indeed. We can indeed. Yeah, no, it's been it's great. It's been an honour to have me on eFIXX. So thank you, and I'd love to do another one.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, Ray. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And yeah, thanks, Joe, for keeping us on track and making sure the PowerPoint and everything else works and everyone's accommodated suitably. So thanks a lot, everyone. See you soon.
Yeah. So thanks very much to Ray and Gordon for answering those questions for us. I'm sure you'll agree that over the 5 parts of this series, we've seen lots and lots to think about and lots to take away into our lighting installations. There's an awful lot going on out there. The lighting world is one that's constantly developing and unfolding and changing. And here at eFIXX, we're absolutely devoted to making sure that we bring you the latest news for all areas of the electrical industry. So for more great content like this, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you check out efixx.co.uk. And all that remains in this video is to say thank you very much for watching.